All right, when you're ready. Brill. All right, go for it.
So yes, Christopher plays it, number 2 plays it out to the wide. They regain the ball. We win it back in the midfield. Like I said, we're playing quite strong in the midfield. Adam wins the ball, takes an extra touch, which wasn't needed. We win it back in the defence by Asante. Out to the right it goes. They run a foul. They try to play a quick ball, but Sam takes his time, plays it out to the left-hand side, and the ball is kicked up the field. Zadine gets on it, and then Timmy scores, but it was a disallowed goal. It was offside, unfortunately.
All right, that was another early goal. Do you really think that was offside?
Yeah, looking back at it, it didn't look offside, but the linesman is the linesman. He's not as good as it as certain others, so I'm not going to dispute it.
Fair enough, fair enough. It was a very good, strong up front attack.
Yeah.
Lots of mid-air action though today. Was that a strategy you were going for?
Well, my players are more. I try to make them play on the ground because with Broomwood, they are quite good in the air. So I try to make everything go on ground. So I know if it goes in the air, they're more likely going to get it because that's what they're strong at. Is defensive headers they're good at. So for some reason, my player was playing high in the air, trying to just go beat the offside track. But eventually they grew into the game and knew that going over, it ain't gonna work. So they started to play ball to feet, moving it a little bit more quicker. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, let's see the next clip. Sorry if we just... That's the one you just finished, right?
Yeah, offside decision, yeah.
Okay. All right, ready when you are to just hit play.
So coming up to the second half, we go back and Adam scores from a pass through the right back from Zadine. Yeah, sorry, the big goal kick from the goalkeeper, touched on, headed on. We win it back into the midfield, goes down the right side. Zadine passes it in, and Adam is all free to score the second for the day. So that was 2-0 up and running in the first half.
Absolutely. So there was quite a lot of good possession going on this match, I'd say. Would you agree with that?
Yes, there was.
Lots of fantastic possession, lots of the action going on in their half. So was that one of your strategies going forward, just to keep pushing until they made a mistake?
Yes, that's what it is. Because we have to make them make mistakes. They weren't comfortable and the pitch was not the best of pitches. So if the ball bounced in front of you, you wouldn't know where it's going to go. That is how bumpy the pitch is, but that's just their home ground. But we capitalised on it. Anytime they made a mistake, we was on them, like we was on them.
Absolutely. I did hear you shouting a lot when I was filming this. There was a lot of you shouting no bounce, no bounce.
Yeah.
And so that is it's really interesting to see how you guys are adapting to each of the pitches. I know at our home ground up in Trinity Fields, that's not really a problem. So was that a challenge, having to adapt to that?
It was a challenge because it was a challenge. We played at Clapham Common the week before and it was like a similar ground. But this one was a little bit worn because I believe their second team played there an hour before us, so it was bumpy and grumpy anyway. So we expect to play on bad pitches. It's just how this football season is. Some home grounds are not as good as ours, so we just have to accept it and play to our best of their ability, and that's what they've done. Every time they went for a ball, if there was a mistake made, we was on it.
Absolutely. Are you guys making sure that's really in your training with the possession? Is that a big part of your training right now?
It is. I try to. Most of it is our fitness really, because it's a 90-minute game. So a lot of the players, they are fit, but I try to keep them on a fitness level where they need to do 5 laps before they even touch a ball. And when we do have a game, we do pass it around. We pass it around quite a lot.
Absolutely. So if we're just going to move on to the next clip. Think you can do it? Basically, just want to get right there. Bro, yeah. So we'll just get right to the start point so I can sync that up later. It's going to be your face, and then underneath it will be the match what you're seeing. Right. Okay, ready when you are.
The number 7, Alex, he plays the ball up front. A little bit of just a wing-run ball up front. They win their possession. They pass it. One of my strikers plays a wrong ball. Christopher wins it back. He runs down the line, loses possession. Alex wins the possession. A throw. And then that was a throw to them, which was a little bit, that half was a little bit of that part of the game was a little bit scrappy. Yeah. We won a throw, but we lost it. Tried to play an easy ball backwards, lost the possession there. They started to drive. They win our corner, it seems like. Yeah, they win a corner. And out of that corner, we didn't clear the lines, they hit the post. But the referee gave a penalty. The referee gave a penalty.
So that was a penalty going against Billy in goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was the choice like putting Billy in goal for that?
We've used him twice now, and the rest of the players believe he's got good hands. So they say he can start in goal, because we haven't got a permanent keeper as yet, which is a shame really. But the players are taking responsibility each week to take, until we find a goalkeeper, they're taking it each week to be the goalkeeper. So even at football training, some of them go in goal just to get the trade, just to get the feel of being in goal. So when Saturdays do come, they're not so new to it. So it is something worth building. So, but yeah, it's good to know that I can put anybody in goal and they're not going to give me no complaints. That's the greatest.
Absolutely, absolutely. We saw quite a few goalie switches in this game.
Yes.
And that it just shows that camaraderie that the team's got about doing it.
Mm.
All right, we're doing the next clip.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, so from that penalty, it was coming up to half time. I think we was getting a little bit nervous on ourselves. Sorry.
It's all good, don't worry about it. Do you want me to come do it?
No, I'm just trying, I know where I am, I'm just trying to find it.
Cool.
The same clip. Right, 1 sec. Right, that's where the ref gave a penalty, so. Yeah, so within that time I made a substitute, so I put my striker, my natural striker, on Calvin, took off Asante and changed the formation. My Calvin is the striker, our full-time striker, and I put him, I changed it over for Motd to go back into his natural position, which is right back. So the formation stayed as it was. Kept passing the ball around, but we wasn't really keeping the ball, wasn't really comfortable on the ball at 2-1. Kept it moving. Adam's got the ball. They clear their lines. Adam is down injured after a free kick, which was a poor free kick that was taken, which should have been in the air or low behind, so my players can run up on it. And then I'm here standing up there with the rest of the team on the line. They win the ball, and they get a corner from the following touch, and they get a penalty and score. So that makes it 2-2 just before the half-time whistle. So yeah, we're giving them pressure. We win a corner, but we didn't capitalise on it. The end of the half.
Yeah. So let's get your thoughts on that first half. How do you think that went?
I think it was a little bit, I think we got too complacent. We scored in the first 5 minutes, and then we scored later on in the half again. Then we scored again. So that made it 2-0. So we got too comfortable and too cocky with it, which is something we need to understand. It's a long game. Anything could happen in that game, which it showed. We gave away 2 penalties in quick succession of each other. And it's all about being focused all the way through the game, and that is what my team needs to understand. Be focused. Just because we're in the lead, I keep saying on the day, it's still 0-0, it's still 0-0. Let's keep on pushing for more goals, but we leaked in 2 goals through 2 penalties, and yeah, that was, yeah.
Yeah, quite a lot of this game was done with those big free kicks down in the other half, and I heard quite a lot of people saying, yeah, with this ground, it's a bit hit it and hope.
Yeah.
So what was your strategy for around those free kicks?
The free kicks is all about, I put my 2 centre backs, made sure they're tall, strong, and they do go up for headers. So wherever the ball was trying to get to, they had to be there. So they were the first. I had them in the first line. I had the short man in the first line, tall man in the second, short one in the third, and the fourth big one at the back. So if it goes over the first man, the second man, further on, that's how I defend it.
Absolutely. Right, everyone, just skip through to the next half.
All right,
Has Shakir gone down yet, by the way? On what you've seen, has Shakir gone down?
Shakir went down in the first half, didn't
he went down the first half, yeah. Actually, that's a quick question, actually, I'll get them there. So, Shakir obviously goes down very early during the game. Is he okay now?
Shakir is okay now. He was quite dazed, a little bit confused, but that was a confusion of himself and one of the defenders going for the same ball without not talking. So, it was a collision between the 2 players.
Yeah.
And he came off worst of all, but he came off, he sat down for a while, and regained his confidence and wanted to go back on.
Absolutely. Right, ready for the second half? Ready when you are.
So second half changes. Timmy wins the ball on the left-hand side. They go up. Yeah, Timmy wins the ball, he drives down to the end, to their corner flag. They pull away, start to try to play football on the ground now, so it was going to be a much more competitive game now. It seems like they've tried to work our system around. We win a foul. I take off Joe. Joe was one of the centre backs. I took him off and to put a midfield player on Frowsy. Well, comes into the midfield.
So what was the choice around bringing Joe off then? What was the thinking behind that?
Well, Joe, before the game he said he only wanted to play the one half and he wasn't feeling really up for it really. So he done a travel from Birmingham or somewhere he came from, so he was quite tired and I had to give him half a game at least. So that was the strategy was to strengthen the midfield. So I took Joe off and I replaced him with Festus at the back and put Fauzi in the middle. So it was just 1-for-1 really. So Festus is a midfield player. He's the haggler and the struggler of the midfield, but we started off as a defensive player. So I put him into the midfield player just to see how he gets on, and he gets on quite well. So Fauzi is a more of a get the ball down player, spread the sort of play. So I've got two different sort of players in there. So I thought I put Festus back in defence in his natural position and Fauzi into the middle, so the game can get a little bit more spread.
Absolutely. How would you rate Festus as captain for this game?
I think he's growing more confident in his position, what I've given him. Before he was more quiet here, but now because I see him as leading something, and he appreciates it as well. So so if he appreciates it and he puts if I say to the team come in, he's there to back me up and say yep, come in. So I need someone who's going to be a leader to back me up. When I say something, you're there to back me up, and like I'll be there for you. So it's good to see him take on the role.
Absolutely.
So we're playing some great footwork. They win a throw. Well, they win a throw, we win it back. We get the ball up into their penalty box, and Adam gets taken down, and we get a penalty awarded to us, which Adam nicely puts away to make that his hat trick, which I also know that he's proud of.
So what do you think about Adam this game? Are you proud? What do you thinking?
Adam is a very talented player. He's good in the midfield. He's good at what he does. He's very good. He's not the person. I could put him as a captain, but I don't think he would get the respect what Festus will get with being captaincy. So he's good enough to be a captain, but he hasn't got the voice to be a captain, if you understand. So I let him go on the pitch and do what he needs to do on the pitch, which he does. He's outstanding when he's playing with his teammates, and put him on a decent pitch, he'll play good all day long.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very talented player. He's going to go far. So that was goal number 3. And we keep pushing and pushing them back. Ball's getting moved around nicely. They actually win the ball back, but we win it back more. We wanted it more. It was kicked in the air. Yep, so the ball was passed around, crossed around from the right hand side, from Timmy's side. They tried to play the ball out. They're playing some nice football still, but we wanted it more. They won back the ball again. We hit the bar from a free kick. We headed the ball over onto the bar. They kicked it out. We're out on the left-hand side where Billy has come out of goal and started to play on the left-hand side. They win a free kick and it goes out for a corner. Then we're playing the ball around in the midfield, playing some decent football, running it, driving, Adam's driving, passing it out, Frowsy passes it out to Timmy. Timmy struggles with the ball, gets him up, he misses it, then he wins it back. The fight is real. Ryan gets it, tries to put across him and win a corner. They win the goal kick. So the keeper's takes a kick. We win it in the midfield. Goes out to Alex out on the wide. He runs it down. They win a throw. We win it back off of them. Adam goes down the line. He gets fouled. And the referees, we get a free kick. Ryan takes the free kick off of one of their heads. And it goes out for a goal kick. And then we're moving this ball around. Ryan brings it down the line. Chris goes down the line, he's moving. He still has it. Whoa. Ryan got it on the edge of the box. That's it.
Okay, it's all good. Is that the end of the clip?
I think so, yeah.
I think that's the end of the highlights. Brilliant. Cool. So let's just get your final summary of the game. So how would you describe that game in a few words?
It was an intense game because they're like a rival to us. They're definitely a rival because before we went in the morning, they were top of the league. So we were third. They were top. So we knew it was going to be a tough game from the beginning. So the game was being a good game, good competition between the two of us. I'm sure it's going to be a more battling one when they come to our home ground. But I'm proud of the boys. We won 5-3, and each goal and each display by each one of my individual players, all of them played well. They all put their ifs in, their hearts in it. And they weren't going to be a walkover, but we prevailed. Proud of the boys. Keep it up, Providence FC.
Absolutely. Right. One last thing. Who's your pick for man of the match for this game? Who's your pick? There's a couple.
Well, you've got Adam who scored 3. Then you've got Billy, what's come out of goal and scored. Festus played good in the midfield and defence. I'll have to give it to Adam because he's the one that scored the hat-trick.
Give it to Adam for man of the match, fair enough.
Man of the match.
One last thing actually. That foul on Billy in the last couple minutes of the game.
It was a horrible tackle, and their manager was so, I couldn't believe his outcry. He was saying, "Oh, get up, it was nothing." That was a terrible foul by any sort of player. I wouldn't ever like my players to do it to a player like that. But that was a horrible foul. Legs, it was above his waist, wasn't it?
It was I play rugby, and that is not even something you see in rugby, American football, whatever sport. That was just MMA.
Yeah.
But Right, so if you wanted to just, I need you to do the cringy bit now. If you just say, follow us on Instagram at providence.house, for any updates on future matches. Okay. If you look down the camera for me, that'd be great.
Yeah. So if you want to follow us at Providence House.
Providence.house.
Providence.house Instagram. You can get us and get all the information you need on Providence.house football. Okay, Instagram. Yeah.
That's all good. Well, cheers, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Sorted. Okay, tick that off the list now.